My name is Maevon Blundell, and I give Sydney permission to record me.
Okay. First question that we have is, when you were younger, where did you live?
When I was born, is that what you want?
Yes, ma'am.
I was born in Betty, Texas, up in the cotton patch.
Okay, so you had land.
No, my mother and dad was renting a place.
Okay.
In Betty. And we lived there till I was still a baby. And they moved to Rosewood. And then we lived there just about the rest of my unmarried life.
Okay. Do you remember when you were around preschool age, so until you were 5 or so, did you explore a lot or anything like that?
Well, I moved next door to a friend of mine that's still a friend of mine. We were friends all through school. They lived next door to us when we moved to Rosewood. And we just have always been the best of friends, and we still are.
Okay. My next question is, when you went to school, whether that be, grade school or high school, were you really involved? What all did you do?
I took part in a lot of everything, just about, I guess. And one of my, a lady that lived in Rosewood, we lived just maybe not even a block, I don't guess, from the first school that I went to. My grade school when I first started. And Miss Hazel Floyd was my teacher. And she was a good one. She didn't have any children, but she adopted children later on in life. But she didn't have any herself.
Right.
And but she could tell you how to raise them. Most people can.
I understand. Okay. Did you do, obviously I know school back then was different than now, but did you do sports, or were you involved in like a group or anything like that?
Yes, we played baseball and we played volleyball. And then when Harmony built, we started school at Harmony, and they consolidated all the surrounding areas, Grice and Ronesboro and all those consolidated, and built the Harmony School. And then that's where I went until I got smarter than the teacher and I quit. And
okay.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever done.
I bet we all have a couple of stories like that.
Yes, maybe, I don't know.
When you were still in school, did you work anywhere?
No.
No, you just went to school?
Went to school, yes.
Okay.
We did have a car, but we went to town on Saturday. We didn't live in town, and we went to town on Saturday part of the time, and part of the time we didn't. we were poor.
Okay. Next question. Do you feel that your relationships during your teenage years impacted your life?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably did. I wasn't real popular as far as boys was concerned. I didn't go out very much.
Yeah.
But then there was reasons for it.
Right.
But I just didn't.
What about friendships-wise?
I had friends, and they're still friends. I met one that lives, there's a house between us and them that I had went to school with his father. And he heard that I was living. Well, in fact, the mailman left him my paper, and he brought it to me and told me he heard that I was living down here. And he remembered the name, but he didn't remember really, I don't think. But anyway, it was good to see him, and we stood on the front porch and talked for 30, 40 minutes.
Well, that's good.
Just visited.
Yeah.
And it was good to meet him. I had heard they lived over here, and I should go back up there and see them, visit them, but I haven't. But it's been hectic. Part of the time I haven't felt stayed in.
That's understandable. Were you married?
I was.
Or are you married?
I am. Well, my husband's deceased.
Okay.
In 03.
In 03. Okay, and when did you get married?
June the 1st, 1940. What? I don't know. 46, I think.
46. How old were you?
Daryl was 46. Daryl was born in 46. 40. No, it wasn't 40.
50.
Daryl was born in 50? Okay.
Okay, well, I was born, I was married 1 year, and, Ronnie was born, what,
48. He's 2 years older.
Daryl was born the first day, his birthday's the first day of June. No, the first day of June we got married. And Daryl was born, Ronnie was born a year and 13 days later. And then 3 years and something, Daryl was born the first day of June, 3 years later.
Okay.
That's about 44, 45.
So about 44 or 45?
Yes.
Okay, and how old were you?
18, no, I was 19 when I got married, nearly 20.
Okay. So from those, you were naming off 2 children. I'm assuming you had 2 children?
That's it.
Okay.
No girls.
No girls,
boys.
2 boys. How many grandchildren do you have?
Okay. 5. I have 5 grandchildren,
5?
Yeah.
Okay.
and I don't know how many great grandchildren.
Too many Gregs.
Too many great grandchildren.
Too many. No, I don't have too many. You can't have too
Plenty
many.
of great grandkids.
Well, yes. I guess so. I don't see them very often. They sure don't come to see me. You can put that in there and make it go real loud.
Okay, I will.
I have to hunt them on Christmas. Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'll see them.
Did you work when you were, I guess, your middle adulthood?
Well, after I quit school, yes, my daddy came home one day, and we lived at Pritchett then, and he came home one day and he said, "You're going to work." Well, I had been working. I'd been keeping house for Mother, and Mother worked in the field while she plowed like a man. But, and I did the housework. I did the cooking and everything. I did the ironing. I helped her wash and did the ironing and did the housekeeping. So I was busy. I wasn't playing. And, but he came home one day and told me I was going to work, and he asked a couple of ladies in town that had cafes.
Okay.
And one of them said, well, right then, she didn't need it. She'd love to have me. In fact, they had talked to him about me before, he said, and coming to work for him. But she said then she had all she could use was to try the other lady. And she hired me, and I worked for her then till after I got married, they wanted me to come back and help on Jamboree and special things, you know, when I could on the weekend, anytime that I could. But life goes on.
Yes. And then what did you do after you got married? Did you work?
No, well, I did. After the kids, when Daryl started school, I went, he may have been, it was a year he started school, I know, and when I went to work. But where Dalton worked, I sat in my office while they went out.
Okay.
His boss. But anyway, he was a good guy.
Okay.
He really was.
And then when you look back at your life, how do you feel?
Kind of like somebody that was very, very dumb.
Why?
Because I told the kids, I said, I know we've got the same mother and dad. My brothers and sisters, one sister and two brothers.
Okay.
But they all graduated good, and I'm sure it was valedictorian or salutatorian or something. And I don't know what Alton was, but he got through anyway, and Wayne did okay too. And then he went on to college, and Shirley she went to a little college. I don't know what it was. I don't remember the name of it now. But anyway, and I did nothing, but I didn't learn anything else other than life. Life is a good teacher.
It is.
It will teach you, and they teach you things you don't forget.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I'm assuming, would you change anything?
Some things I probably would, but let's don't discuss what they are.
Well, I'm gonna guess one of them is finishing high school.
That's it. Yeah, that would have been the first thing that I would have changed.
Mm-hmm.
I would have gone ahead. But Mother used to blame herself, and I wouldn't let her because I didn't want her to feel guilty. They moved before I finished high school. Had they stayed there in the area where I could have gone with where I'd always gone, I probably would have done like the rest of them and went ahead and finished. But they didn't. They moved, and she always blamed herself. But I never did want her to because it was my fault.
Understandable.
And the school I started to go into Union Grove down toward Big Sky Gladewater.
Right.
Yes. Okay. And I went down there 1 or 2 days, and I felt out of place. And I told him I wasn't coming back, and he heard. The superintendent heard it, and he called me in the office. And a nicer person you'll never know. And tried to talk me into coming back to school. He begged me to come back to school. And he said, we'll let you, we'll teach you to be a head of the band, you know.
Oh,
what you call
drum
it,
major?
or majorette or something.
Right.
He said, we'll let you do that. We'll teach you to do that. And he did everything he could think of. That's what he was doing. He was just trying to get me to come back to school. And then he died. He's made me sick shortly after that. I don't know. He didn't look sick. I don't know what happened to him. I guess he had a heart attack. I don't know. But it really did. It made me sick. And I won't ever forget him because he was nice to me. He was trying to be good to me.
Right.
And I knew that. But I was a kid, and I was still a kid. I hadn't grown up. But we live.
Ma'am. Well, I think this pretty much concludes our interview.
That's about all.
Is there anything else you'd like to say, just in general?
Well, just listen to Mother and Dad a whole lot.
Okay.
And kind of try to do what they asked you to do.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Maevon, and this concludes our interview.